Good morning, my dear students, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning session. Welcome to Science by Harsha ma'am. As you already know that we are doing the very first lesson, that is the fundamental unit of life, which is cell, its structure as well as its function. Up till today, we have discussed about the various organelles. The organelles are endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, Golgi body, lysosomes, mitochondria and plastids. Now in our today's session, we are going to discuss about vacuoles. I hope you remember that you have already studied about vacuoles in your lower standards. That is even in class 8. If we talk about few basic points regarding the vacuoles, then you know that vacuoles are found in both, that is plant cells as well as in animal cells. But in plant cells its size is very big, while in animal cells it is present either it is present or not, and if it is present then the size is very small. If we talk about its comparison with the various things that we have at our home, then its basic comparison is done with the refrigerator. Talk about its basic comparison, then its basic comparison is with respect to the refrigerator. Now why it is compared with the refrigerator? Because in the refrigerator generally we store the things. For example, if you want to store fruits, you want to store the vegetables or any other thing, any other sweet which your mother has prepared or any other thing, then it is generally stored in the refrigerator. In the same way, if we want to store anything, so for the storage purpose it is very perfect. That is vacuole. But if we talk about one of the very important parameter regarding vacuoles, then in refrigerator we do not store anything that is stale. जो खराब हो चुकी है, that things we do not store. But vacuoles, they store even the worn out parts. So this is the thing what it differs, and as we have talked about vacuoles, let us note down some of the very important points regarding the vacuoles. Present in plant and animal cells. It is of very big size in the plant cells. But small. Smaller in size in animal cells. Next, important thing over here is they are generally the storage sacs and they are bound by a single membrane. Okay, so these are the storage sacs, they are bound, which are bound by a single membrane. And what do they contain? They contain water, glycogen and proteins. So these are some of the very important parameters regarding the vacuole. There are three types of vacuoles. But before we study those three types of vacuoles, you have to first understand this and note down this. Vacuoles where they are present in plant as well as in animal cells. In plant cells they are big in size, and while in animal cells they are a bit smaller in size. They are the storage sacs which are bound by a single membrane, and what does it contain? They contain water, glycogen and protein. Note down this. After that we'll discuss about the three basic types of vacuoles, which is food vacuole, contractile vacuole and sap vacuole. Note it down. I hope you have noted about the important parameters of vacuoles. Now, let us move further. There are three types of vacuoles. Among them, the very first one is the food vacuole, then contractile vacuole, and the third one is sap vacuole. So the next content is types of vacuoles. As we discussed, the very first one is food vacuole. Then you have contractile vacuole. The last one is the sap vacuole. If we talk about food vacuole, then basically food vacuole is generally seen in the unicellular organism, and the very common organism which you have studied is amoeba. Amoeba has food vacuole. Now what generally happens? Suppose this is the irregular shaped amoeba which has a food vacuole like this. Now whenever amoeba will see any of the food at that time, it will make finger like projection and it will try to capture it. Try to recall, you have already studied about this type of nutrition in your lower standards. That is in class 7. That is, amoeba will make false legs, that is pseudopodia, and it will try to catch its prey, and then once that food will come inside, it will get fused with the food vacuole. So it will take the food and the undigested food particles will fuse with the lysosomes, it will digest it, and that is called as actually food vacuole. So generally found in amoeba, and here the undigested food fuses with lysosome and here the undigested food fuses with the lysosomes, and gets digested into and the place where it gets digested is called as food vacuole, and it is able to digest with the help of the digestive enzymes which are released by lysosomes. So digestion over here is done with the help of digestive enzymes released by lysosomes. Once again, let's have a quick look at the food vacuole. Generally, the food vacuole is found in the unicellular organism, that is amoeba, about which you have studied in detail in your all the standards. Amoeba is a unicellular organism, and you are knowing that with the help of its finger-like projection, it will try to capture the food. Even in class 8, we had studied. Now, what will happen? The undigested food will fuse with the lysosome. Lysosome will release the digestive enzymes, and that is called as food vacuole, and this is how the food gets digested in the amoeba. Moving further on the next particular part, that is contractile vacuole. The vacuoles, this type of vacuoles, they collect liquid from the cell and they swell up before they burst to release it, and that process is called as osmoregulation. And excretion, it is helping in the excretion as well as in the osmoregulation, and it is generally happening in amoeba as well as in paramecium, that is the unicellular aquatic animals. So what is the function of the contractile vacuole? They will collect liquid and swell up before they burst. Okay, and where does it help in? It helps in osmoregulation, that means in osmosis as well as in excreting the waste products. Generally, it is found in all the unicellular organism like amoeba and paramecium. Now, let us have again a very quick look at the types of vacuoles. Food vacuole, contractile vacuole, and the third one is the sap vacuole. Food vacuole, as we discussed, it is generally present in the unicellular organism like amoeba. In amoeba, these food vacuoles, what they will do? They will digest, release the digestive enzymes, and with the help of those digestive enzymes, the food will be fused and it will be digested, and undigested food will be thrown out. So this is how it happens in the food vacuole. If you talk about contractile vacuole, this is food vacuole. Contractile deals with the liquid. So it will collect the liquid and it will swell up before it's getting bursted. It helps in the osmoregulation and in the excretion of the waste products. It generally occurs in the freshwater unicellular organisms. Freshwater unicellular organism. The next is the sap vacuole. It occurs in the plants as well as in animal cells, and these vacuoles, they occupy approximately, sap vacuole, it occupies approximately 90% volume of the plant cell. it will occupy almost 90% volume of the plant cell. And the selective permeable membrane of this large vacuole, the outer, if this is the vacuole which is present in the plant cell over here, then its outer membrane, this outer layer, it is a selective permeable membrane, and that is called as tonoplast. What it is called as? Tonoplast. This outer layer of the vacuole, it is called as tonoplast, and it is filled with cell sap. That means whatever you remember you can write, because vacuole is generally a storage sac. It will store hormones, steroids, fats, vitamins, proteins. जो भी याद आए सब लिख डालने का, because everything is actually stored in the vacuoles. So contains fats, vitamins, proteins, hormones, steroids, etc. Whatever you remember you can write, and that is called as cell sap. So you can write over here, filled with cell sap. Okay, so this is about the three types of vacuoles. It also provides the turgidity and the rigidity to the cell, and in plant cells it is present in the center in a very big way, but in animal cells, as we talked, it is bits smaller in size. These are the three types of vacuoles. Note it down, and after that we will move further on the next part, that is the division of cell in the two forms, which is mitosis and meiosis. Okay, be quick. First note down this. Okay, so I hope you have noted down this. Before we move further, let us have a quick look at the entire vacuoles. As we discussed vacuoles, where it is found in the plant cell as well as in the animal cells. They are smaller in size in the animal cell but bigger in the plant cells. And where does it help in? It helps in osmoregulation, excretion, and it is the storage sac that will store glycogen, protein, and different various things, water. So the next part that we discussed was the types of vacuoles. How many types of vacuoles are there now? There are basically three types of vacuoles, and those three types are food vacuole, contractile vacuole, and sap vacuole. Food vacuoles, for example, in amoeba, the undigested food, it will fuse with the lysosome will release the digestive enzymes, and it will ultimately help in digesting the entire food parts, and that's how the functioning of food vacuole takes place in amoeba. Moving on to contractile vacuole. Contractile vacuole, here this type of vacuole will collect all the liquid and it will swell up, and it will help in the osmoregulation and in the excretion of waste products. It occurs in the fresh water and it is present in the unicellular organism. Moving further, cell sap vacuole, it is filled with cell sap, that is fats, vitamins, proteins, hormones, steroids, etc. It will occupy almost 90% of the volume of the plant cells, and it is selective permeable membrane. Its outer layer is called as tonoplast. So with this, all the organelles get completed. And now the next part. If we talk further about the next part, then the next part is the difference between the plant cell and animal cell. Table is given, and if you try to recall in class 8 also, you have done the difference between the plant cell and animal cell. Plant cell has cell wall, animal cell does not have cell wall. Then centrosomes are present in animal cell, they are not present in plant cell. Then plant cell contains chloroplast, or you can say plastids, while they are absent in animal cells. Plant cells, they have large size vacuoles, these one has small size vacuoles. Then nucleus, in the plant cell it is generally lying on the periphery, while in animal cell it is lying at the center. So this is about what we talked about, the different types of plant cells, and the different two types of cell, that is plant cells and animal cells. Now moving further on the next particular topic, which is cell division. If we talk about the cell division, then the cell division takes place in two forms. Among them, the very first one is mitosis. Second one is meiosis. Okay. Now, what is the difference between the mitosis and meiosis? Let us have a basic look at what is the basic difference between these two types of cell division. Now, when the cell division is taking place, you are generally knowing that the chromatids, when we were doing the nucleus, we discussed that these thread-like structures, they will combine and they will form a chromosome. Now, in mitosis, what happens? The same number of chromosomes come up in the next generation. That means if over here there are total 46 chromosomes, then the two daughter nuclei which will be formed from each of one, they will contain exactly the same number of chromosomes from both, and they will also have 46 chromosomes. That means here the number of chromosomes remains the same and exactly identical copy of it is produced. In mitosis, exactly similar copy of the parent organism is produced having exactly same number of chromosomes. Here this is very important point, chromosomes number. Same number of chromosomes. While in meiosis what happens? Suppose this is male gamete and this is the female gamete. M for male and F for female. Then from both, half of the chromosome will combine and then they will give rise to one particular organelle, and this type of cell division is called as meiosis. So here half number of chromosomes are used. And these will be from both, half from the male and half from the female. Suppose if I denote this for the color variation, it will be more easy for you to now understand. Now the output that will come will be such that half number of chromosomes from both, half of the male and half of the female. So here the number of chromosomes from each parent will be reduced to half, then the cell will be formed. While here exactly similar to what is the parent, the daughter nuclei is formed. Let me read it for you, then it will become more clear. I think now you are clear, but all the living things grow. Growth occurs because of the division of the cell. The cell will divide to give rise to the two cells, and those two cells will give rise to more number of cells, and this is how the number of cells will increase in the organism and it will grow. This type of cell division is called as mitosis. It takes place in the specific regions of plants as well as in animal bodies, and here it results in the formation of two daughter cells that will have same number of chromosomes. This is very important point. Moving further on, another type of cell division that is called as meiosis. It occurs only in those where the sexual reproduction generally occurs. And in this cell division, the chromosomes in the daughter cells are reduced to half. The gametes are formed because of this type of cell division, and when the gamete from the male and the female fuse with each other, the normal number is restored in the zygote, and here from one particular cell you can see how the zygote is formed from both of them individuals. So this is all about the two types of cell division, which is mitosis and meiosis. Do not forget, here same number of chromosomes are there, while here the half number of chromosomes are there. The output will be like this, and similar number of cells will be formed. So I hope you are now clear with the cell division concept. Now, if we move further, then in our further lectures we will be seeing about the diagram of the plant cell and animal cell, and till that time let us first I am giving you few questions. Try to write the answers of them just now. Which is the suicidal bag of cell? Okay, you have to try to write the answers to this. Which is the protein factory of cell? Then storage sac of cell. Then powerhouse of cell. Then who discovered cell? Just one line answers this are: who gave the term protoplasm? Then further, which is the hereditary material of the cell? Then what is the membrane of vacuole called as? You have to just write one word for all the questions that are given over here just now. Then what is the study of cell structure called as? Mind well, it is structure. And which is the longest known cell up till date? So you are having this short one word answers which you have to just now write and send the snap to me. Be quick. You are having exactly 2 minutes for it. Write the questions as well as the answers. Quickly. I hope you have noted it. Moving on, the today's homework, that is write a note on vacuoles. Okay, and that's all for today. With this we complete on with this lesson, and thank you so much for listening to me and have a very good day. That's all. Bye bye.